Hey everyone, do you think you're too old to own a Nintendo Switch? Do you think the gaming platform just designs games for babies? Well, I have news for you. The Nintendo Switch is a great product, and you need it in your life if you don't have one already. Hi, my name is Geodude, and I review products that I've owned for several years, and in most cases, they were day one purchases. Today, I want to review the Nintendo Switch, a product that I have been using every single day since it came out. I know it's hard to believe, but the Nintendo Switch is possibly one of the best gaming systems that has ever come out, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you why you need to purchase one if you don't have one already. So let me backtrack a little bit. I remember when the Nintendo Switch came out in 2017, and I knew right away I wanted to buy the system. The only issue was that it was sold out in every single store. So, like the fool I was, I overpaid to get the console, and I ended up paying $500 to purchase this little guy right here. And what do I think? Was it worth the price? I remember when it first came out, all I was hearing is about Nintendo Switch has no games. Has no games. I think if you're a gamer, you've heard that so many times when a new consoles come out that it's almost like a bit of a meme at this point. But the Nintendo Switch did have a game when it first came out, and most of us that have the system know that that game was Zelda. And I'm not going to talk about Zelda too much, but I just want to say that when your first game, when you design a console, is Zelda, and it's possibly one of the greatest games of all time, you know you're doing something right. So over the course of the past almost 3 years now, I think in March it'll be the 3-year anniversary of Nintendo Switch coming out, and ever since then, man, does it have games now? This little device right here is just unbelievable. So many AAA developers are getting on board putting games on this thing that it's getting to the point where you can play a AAA title on the go. And that's part of the reason that I think if you don't own a Nintendo Switch, you need to get this in your life as soon as possible. Some of the biggest pros of the Nintendo Switch are obviously the portability, and I can't stress this enough. If you like to play games, you'll love to play games on the go. One of the things, one of the main ways that I always play Nintendo Switch is handheld mode during my lunch break when I'm at work, and this thing has practically, possibly some of the best indies as well. I know when it comes to the indies, my favorites by far are Dead Cells, and also Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, and oh my gosh, sure you can have it on PC, play it on 4K, but believe me, when it comes to indies, nothing topples the Nintendo Switch handheld mode. It just feels like that's what those indie games were designed for. They were designed for the Nintendo Switch. And of course, one of the other big reasons you need to buy a Nintendo Switch is the exclusives that this system has is just unbelievable. And it's one thing to just say it has exclusives. This thing has insanely good exclusives. Whether you like Mario Odyssey or Mario, Super Smash Brothers, Zelda, Splatoon. I mean, the list goes on and on of some of the absolutely like blasts. I mean, you're gonna have a blast playing some of these games, and like I said, if you don't own Nintendo Switch, you owe it to yourself to own one. One of the biggest things I was thinking when it was first coming out, and part of the reason that I didn't pre-order it, because I thought it was like going to have a bunch of children games, but when I found out that Zelda was going to be the first game, I tried to pre-order it, and yeah, with my luck, everything was sold out, and I had to end up, like I said, overpaying for the system, like $500. But it was well worth it, And along with that, you see my system right here. Looks a little bit different. Actually has a Satisfy gaming grip. If you don't know about Satisfy gaming grips, I'll leave a link down below. You can check them out. Satisfy is also just something that just kind of like enhances the whole handheld mode. I mean, if you are playing the Nintendo Switch, you need to have a Satisfy gaming grip. I mean, the Nintendo Switch on handheld mode, you need to have a Satisfy gaming grip. This is bar none one of the best accessories you can have for your Switch. But yeah, the Switch itself has a ton of things that I thought it would never have, honestly. It also has things like Fortnite, Warframe. I mean, just try to comprehend how it's even possible that the Switch can have these games that have been staples for the PC and Xbox, and they're being ported to the Switch. I mean, personally, I'm not playing Switch. I'm not playing Warframe on Switch or Fortnite on Switch as well. I just love it for its basic exclusives. That's the only reason I buy the Switch and the indies. And if you're someone that just likes to like take a break and want something to entertain yourself with, if YouTube ain't cutting it, I promise you, if you buy yourself a Switch, it's gonna basically take over your life. Nintendo continues to make amazing exclusives, and one of my favorite games right now, and I think it's probably one of the top sellers when it comes to video games out in the market, is Pokemon Sword and Shield. I personally have a Sword one, and right over the horizon they have the expansion pass coming out too, so that's very exciting. And yeah, I mean, if you don't have a Switch, I highly recommend it. Some of the cons of the Switch, which I wouldn't really call it a con, but all the consoles are doing it, is that you do have to pay a monthly fee to use internet. But I think it's only like $3 or $4, which is still paying for the internet when you're already paying for the internet. It's kind of silly, but yeah, like I said, I highly recommend this product. I mean, it's incredible. Mario galore, Super Smash Brothers, Zelda, you get Kirby in there, and Metroid coming out next year or late this year. I'm crossing my fingers for that one. That's going to be probably like another game that's just going to take over my life. But yeah, I highly recommend you buying a Switch if you don't have one. By any chance, if you did enjoy the video, a like, subscription is greatly appreciated. I review all kinds of products, mostly tech, and for the most part I review products that I've owned for several years to give you a very, very informed decision when it comes to buying something. Alright, take care guys.